Hi everyone, it's Jay here, and these are the manga and manhwa releases for the first 2 weeks of December. There are so many releases during December that I've decided to do 3 release videos. So this video is going to be for the first 2 weeks. I hope there's something here that you enjoy. Starting with Kodansha, A Sign of Affection Volume 12. Yuki and Itsuomi have grown even closer since Itsuomi opened up about his past. When Oshi invites the two of them to an amusement park for the day, Itsuomi is determined to have a good time, while Yuki is apprehensive about whether the boys will get along. As Oshi's supportive friends keep an eye on the trio from the bushes, will Oshi finally be able to tell Yuki what he's always wanted to say to her? Grand Blue Dreaming Volume 12. After Sakurako's confession, there's some unfortunate rumours afloat. Iori is suddenly the centre of attention, and not in a good way. A lot of people now have a bone to pick with him, including Chisa. On top of that, the Izu Fall Festival is just around the corner, and along with it comes the Miss Izu U-Fall pageant. Can Chisa net another win, or will she have to pass on the pageant crown to someone new? Hitori Jime My Hero Volume 16. The stalker who showed up at the Oshiba residence has turned out to be an overzealous admirer of Masahiro's feminine alter ego, Mako. While everyone else is in an uproar over this turn of events, only Kisuke seems to have his mind on other matters. With Masahiro now a member of the family, all has gone quiet on the bedroom front. Now Masahiro and Kisuke prepare to take their first couple's trip in many moons, but not before Masahiro makes a shocking announcement. Initial D Omnibus Volume 8. A powerful foe appears from Bunta's past. Mulling over what to do after high school graduation, Takumi is recruited for Rosuke's new racing team to compete outside of Gunma. Kai Kogashiwa, a street racer and former go-kart racer from Tochigi, appears in Gunma and challenges Takumi on his home base of Irohazaka. What Takumi doesn't know is that Kai's father has a long-running rivalry with Bunta. Will Takumi understand Bunta's cryptic hints on how to defeat Kai? This includes volumes 15 and 16. Kusunoki's Flunking Her High School Glow-Up, Volume 5. Ever since elementary school, Kisuke has been traumatized by the teasing he endured from beautiful but cruel Ririsa. But now that they're reunited as teenagers, Ririsa can't help noticing that Kelsuke has grown up from a hopeless nerd into a good-looking guy. Meanwhile, Kisuke only has eyes for Shizuka, the shy and nerdy beauty, who might be the only person more awkward than he is. When their school puts on a play of Beauty and the Beast, and Shizuka is picked for Belle, Kisuke finds himself roped into becoming Shizuka's dance tutor. But will this bring them physically closer than either of them can handle? Raw, A Star in the Abyss Volume 3. After Mayuka crosses the line at dinner, Misato seeks refuge in the childhood home she was forced to leave behind. Down on her luck, she encounters her old friend Junya, who sheds light on more of Misato's past and helps her find her resolve to act again. With a new haircut and a makeover from Junya, she's ready to give it another shot. But when Ayane and Misato both read for the same role, will Misato's talent be enough to take the lead? The Heroic Legend of Arslan, Volume 21. Prince Arslan leaves the army to his vassals and makes his way to the royal capital with Darien and company in tow. Meanwhile, Hilmaze finds his own claims to the throne knocked askew when Andragoras lays bare the secrets of the royal lineage. The battle for the throne comes to a head as Arslan's will is tested yet again. Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun Volume 17. With the Harvest Festival behind them, Iruma and the Misfit class must now begin rehearsing for their next challenge, the Music Festival. They decide to come together as a group and aim to sweep the competition off its feet, but run into some unforeseen trouble at the very first note. A Kingdom of Quartz Volume 4. Blue then joined Steel and her angels on an emergency expedition to find Adira's team. Yet, crossing the kingdom's gates, they stumbled upon a grisly scene of fallen angels and a pulsing egg, which soon began spewing forth demons. As one giant demon looms up over the rest, Steel points to something in its chest. Could that be Adira? I Want to Love You Till Your Dying Day Volume 6. Ari is still grieving after losing Seiran, but a heart-to-heart with her upperclassman, Esther, helps her feel better. Meanwhile, school life goes on for the students of the facility, from health checkups to late-night snacks, and speculations about the origins of the war they're fighting in the first place. As the roommates continue to spend their days together, Sheena begins to realise her feelings for Mimi just might go beyond the bounds of friendly cohabitation. Isaac Omnibus Volume 4. The year is AD 1620. Europe is riven with the conflagrations that will grow into the 30 Years' War. Catholic and Protestant forces clash across battlefields ruled by sword and gunpowder alike, and mercenaries of every stripe ply their trade. Among them is Isaac, a lone Japanese warrior wielding a matchlock gun of strange design. On a sworn mission to find and kill the man who murdered his master and fled Japan for the other side of the world. This omnibus contains volumes 7 to 8. Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin Deluxe Volume 3. This new edition collects the original best-selling 12-installment English release into 6 oversized volumes. Sailor Moon Naoko Takeuchi Collection Manga Box Set 2. Complete your collection with this deluxe manga box set featuring Sailor Moon manga volumes 7 to 10, the codename Sailor 5 prequel, 16 art cards, and a holographic box with a magnetic enclosure and glittery finish. The Fable Omnibus Volume 11. All the masks have fallen away. The fearless Yamaoka is in open rebellion against the nameless organization some call the Fable. The true identity of Akira Sato, as the most skilled assassin Japan has ever known, is now clear even to his gentle co-worker, Misaki. Traps are sprung, secrets are revealed, and time runs out for everyone as the grand finale begins. The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity Volume 10. Subaru convinces the girls who spotted Kaoruko and Rintaro on their date to meet the Chidori boys for themselves. While the hangout goes well enough at first, an outburst from Ayu threatens the progress made. The Magnificent Bastard Volume 1. This is a samurai epic inspired by a real-life legend. Tall, handsome, and deadly, Keiji revels in his own taste of beauty, whether it be slaying men on the battlefield or carousing with courtesans in the pleasure district. As feudal lords vie for supremacy, Keiji's house prepares for a clash with the powerful Hojo clan. When a team of scouts is dispatched to procure wild horses for the house's army, they are attacked by a creature unlike any they have ever seen. Tasked with slaying this beast, Keiji sets out to tame it instead. Once the Hojo and their ninja master catch wind of this expedition, however, Keiji will have more than a wild beast to break. Windbreaker Volume 17. The fierce battle against the former Furin members reaches its dramatic climax, and amidst the chaos, Noroshi reveals the real reason behind their all-out war. Cheeky Brat Volume 15. It's the first training camp Naruse and Yuki have been to since they started dating, but that doesn't mean it's any different than usual. But she's a bit worried that her cheeky brat of a boyfriend will fight with Hakamada-kun all weekend, but they've both grown up a bit, so nothing's gonna happen at training camp, right? I kept pressing the 100 million year button and came out on top, Volume 7. Leah is captured by the Obsidian Order, and Alan and his friends must do everything they can to save her. Facing off against the strongest swordsman in history, will Alan fall to the pressure, or will he awaken to even greater heights? My instant death ability is so overpowered, no one in this other world stands a chance against me, Volume 9. Ayaka Shinozaki, a classmate long thought dead, has reappeared in the city and is hunting down members of the class, one by one as revenge for abandoning her back on the bus. At the same time, a mysterious organisation has once again begun targeting Yogiri, making attempts on his life every time he leaves the castle. Spice and Wolf Collector's Edition Volume 2. The story of the travelling merchant and wise wolf continues in this beautifully bound second volume with brand new cover art. The 13th Footprint Volume 2. After yet another unsettling postcard arrives at the Togawa house, the search for answers begins, and it all leads back to Toya. He recalls having a similar postcard in his youth, but how long ago was that? That's when Toya remembers that he gave it to someone, a boy he knew named Sora, but that was ages ago. Could Sora, someone from the furthest reaches of Toya's past, really be the mysterious sender? The Alchemist Who Survived Now Dreams of a Quiet City Life, Volume 3. The Agrinas family dominated the alchemical market for centuries until Mariella awoke. No other living alchemist possesses a ley line pact like hers, allowing for the creation of potions after the stampede. With Mariella's quiet life of potion making standing between an aristocratic family and the monopoly they once held, how much longer can the peaceful life she's built remain that way? The Colour of the End, Volume 3. As Saya, Isami, and Kanako journey together in search of Usa, the three unexpectedly come across a flower-filled mansion and its lone automated caretaker. The robot claims to have met the mysterious survivor, but in exchange for its information, it has a request of them. The Saga of Tanya the Evil, Volume 27. The Empire's most decorated aerial mage, the Bard, has been shot down over the Northern Sea. The unexpected imperial defeat buoys the enemy nations and sends a wave of confusion and fear through the exhausted empire, but when the news reaches Tanya, deep behind enemy lines in the Russi Federation, it only strengthens her resolve. She vows to inflict such terrible losses on the Reds that the death of her fellow ace will pale in comparison. Yowamushi Pedal, Volume 28. Final Day, Final Climb. Hakone won't go down without a fight, which is why Teshima and Ashikiba are in a passionate climbers' clash while jockeying for the best position for their team. Ascendance of a Bookworm, Part 4, Volume 1. Rosemean awakens from her 2-year slumber to find that everything and everyone has changed, which is just as terrifying as it sounds. She's immediately thrust towards the Royal Academy, a requirement for becoming a noble. There she'll meet so many teachers and students from other duchies, but will she be able to keep her composure when she's facing the largest collection of books she's seen yet? Isekai Tensei Recruited to Another World, Volume 3. 5 years after the devastating attack on his hometown, Tenma's trying to make a name for himself in Gunjo City. His abilities and aptitude for magic draw plenty of attention, and he officially joins the Adventurers Guild. Love Bullet, Volume 1. In this contemporary world, Cupid solved problems of love, not with bows and arrows, but with guns. However, when the Cupids get in an argument over how to solve a love triangle, a full-on shootout occurs. Rascal does not dream of a sister home alone. The manga adaptation of the Rascal series is back with another installment. Sakuta's shut-in sister, Kade, has been content always being at home after the bullying incident that put her there. Plus, that's where her favourite Oni-chan is. Yet slowly but surely, Kade begins to venture beyond the 4 walls that protected her these last few years, regaining more and more of the life and freedom the old her knew. But even with Sakuta, Mai and everyone else in her corner, treating this case of adolescent syndrome isn't going to be easy. The guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. Numbered edition web exclusive Volume 1. Fashionable and upbeat high schooler Aya falls head over heels for an employee at a local CD shop. He's stylish, with an air of mystery about him, and he has impeccable taste in music. Little does she know, this supposedly male employee is actually her female classmate, Mitsuki. Mitsuki generally keeps to herself, but since her seat is right next to Aya's, she can't help but be extremely aware of the other's crush. And although she's afraid to reveal the truth, Mitsuki finds herself talking with Aya more and more, experience this captivating story of the rock-loving pair now in hardcover. The Unwanted Undead Adventurer, Volume 12. Having overcome his former master's trial, Rent learns about his hometown's ancient secret. Its dizzying scope is beyond anything he could have imagined, as Rent and Lorraine come to grips with their discovery. Gold-class adventurer Neve and her compatriots work to root out the vampires planning to attack Malt. They're moving quickly to prevent tragedy from occurring, but are they already too late? Oshinoko Coloring Ex-Idol Color Activity Book. It's the first official coloring book for Oshinoko. It contains carefully selected illustrations by the series artist Mengo Yokoyari. From Titan Comics, Stray Volume 1. After serving 9 years for a crime he didn't commit, Hachiya Ken is free, but his past is far from behind him. Released from prison, he's confronted by Hana, the fairy daughter of a ghost from his past. Together, they're forced to navigate a deadly web of betrayal, Yakuza power, and political corruption, as they uncover a conspiracy that runs deeper than either could have imagined. Ken must confront his own demons and decide how far he's willing to go for redemption. The Ghostly Darkness of Kanata, Volume 1. After a heart-stopping encounter with an unearthly apparition, a young woman becomes fixated on the spirits that linger in the shadows. Drawn into a chilling journey to confront the very essence of fear, she steps into a world where the boundary between the living and the dead fades into oblivion. As the heroine delves deeper into the occult, her quest to understand the afterlife soon reveals that terror doesn't always come from the unknown. It hides in the places we think we know best. From Ablaze, Gannibal Volume 6. Daigo goes alone into the depths of Kuge to save the children. There he runs into Kisuke and finally dares to ask him directly, "Do you eat human flesh?" Kisuke's answer will prove surprising, revealing more about his family, the village, and the dark past of the next head of the Gotos. From Inklaw, Heaven Official's Blessing Volume 1. A fallen god unravels supernatural mysteries and comes face to face with ghosts from his past in this manhwa comic adaptation of the New York Times best-selling Danmei novel. The first edition hardcover of this comic will feature designed sprayed edges, custom end papers, deluxe jacket, and a custom case stamp with gold foil. From Sublime, Trickster's Tale, Huyan Zwan, Volume 1. When half-fox demon, half-human Feijin loses his family at an early age, he is taken in by and becomes the pupil of Sage Gaochun. As the centuries pass, Feijin's admiration for his master turns romantic, and though Feijin continues to confess his feelings to Gaochun, he is gently rebuffed each and every time. Desperate, Feijin puts his master under a spell and whisks him off to bed, but the typically gentle and reserved Gaochun surprises Feijin with his passion. It's only later that he learns his master had once been deeply in love with the demon, and was severely punished for it. Finder Deluxe Edition Crazy in Love Volume 14. Asami's on the run from his own syndicate. To give Akihito a chance to save himself, Asami tasks him with an impossible choice: to break up or die together. Never a quitter, Akihito comes up with a third option: to run away. The two end up settling in a quiet corner of the Spanish countryside, where they can finally relax and enjoy each other's company. But it's not long before their newfound peace and quiet is but a distant memory. From Viz Media, A Star Brighter Than the Sun Volume 4. Sei vows to confess her feelings to Koki at the school festival, but ends up spending more quality time with Yota than the object of her affections. Finally, she and Koki are alone together decorating an exhibit with glow-in-the-dark stars. But when the class project goes awry and Sei heads off to get new supplies, it's Yota who runs after her. Astro Royale Volume 3. Hibaru's battle against Shio reveals a new piece of information connecting the Yotsurugi family to the meteor and the emergence of Astros. Meanwhile, a new enemy shows his face, and he seems to hold a personal grudge against Hibaru and his family. Fushigi Yugi Byakko Senki Volume 3. Just as Suzuno reunites with Carmen Castle, the brothers she met on her first trip into the universe of the Four Gods, false priestess Ninglan unleashes a brutal attack that leaves Castle mortally wounded. Kaiju Number 8 Relax Volume 1. Join the top troops of the 3rd Division of the Japan Defense Force, a military organization tasked with the neutralization of kaiju on their days off. Kafka Hibino attempts to bear his soul in meditation, only to end up bearing something else. Then an off-duty Captain Mina Ashiro blows off steam at the arcade. Reno Ichikawa confronts his fear of ghosts, a curious cadet sets out to glimpse Vice Captain Hoshina's eyes, and Kikoru Shinomiya finally spends time with her friends. Marriage Toxin Volume 10. Gunmaster Miyuki has taken the attendees of a matchmaking party hostage, including Kinosaki, and to make matters worse, Kinosaki's been shot. Without a moment to lose, Gero bursts onto the scene with the unexpected help of another gunmaster. Can these two trained assassins save Kinosaki and the other hostages before it's too late? My Hero Academia Team Up Missions Volume 7. The ever-cheery Hado is handling a beautification drive, and who better to help her than the ever-grumpy Bakugo? Then, Yao Yorozu gets to know Ashida and Uraraka better by waging war over a blowout sale. Also includes Endeavor's mission, a prequel story to the My Hero Academia World Heroes mission film. Nana 25th Anniversary Edition Volume 2. Living in Tokyo is proving harder than either Nana expected. Nana K can't seem to outrun her bad luck in love, and Nana O can't seem to avoid the constant reminder of her ex-boyfriend's success. Queen's Quality Volume 24. Yanagi uses K to open a Queen's Vault in the city, where Fumi and her friends live, so the Genbu, Byakko, and Seiryu clans form a united front to help the citizens under attack. Meanwhile, Fumi and Tsubasa watch over the spirit of Fumi's mother in her final moments. Spy X Family Volume 15. Due to the war between the East and West, Henry and Martha part ways without ever expressing their feelings for each other. Martha enlists to fight, and only narrowly survives a bloody battle in West Alice. Amid the chaos of war, can she make her way back to Ostanio? The Bugle Call Song of War Volume 4. The Pontiff's expedition to Gallia has reached the capital of Limoges. The city is held by the forces of the Looking Glassists, and defended by the Looking Glass herself. Only Zoe has the power to even attempt to take her on. If Zoe fails, so does the entire operation. Wolf Girl and Black Prince Volume 16. Graduation has arrived, and Erika can't say that she's done anything more than be yanked around on Kyoya's leash, but can an entire high school career really be summed up in a single ceremony? Find out in this final volume of the series. Yona of the Dawn Volume 45. Yona and Hack return to Kyoto in pursuit of the Yellow Dragon Zeno, hoping to stop him from succeeding at his plan. As they make their way through the ravaged capital, the two head towards Hiryu Palace, the place where Zeno's immortality originated. Dandadan Volume 16. Momo and Okarun task Turbo Granny with uncovering who picked up Okarun's family jewel from the police station. She succeeds in infiltrating the station, but is quickly thwarted by its computer system. Fly Me to the Moon Volume 30. The Yuzakis can't have a simple evening at home. First, an unexpected visitor shows up with a package that could reconnect Tsukasa to her past and help her find the people who carry her blood. Then Kaname decides to help steam things up at the bathhouse. Girl Crush Volume 4. The monthly evaluations at LJH are coming up fast, and Tenka and her friendly rival's futures at the company hang in the balance. Not satisfied with just passing their first test, the trio want to wow their trainers with a group performance that's as cool as it is cute. But when an unexpected wrinkle threatens the group, can Team Captain Tenka make the right decision for more than just herself? Kill Blue Volume 4. The Home Ec Club divides into teams for a ramen cook-off. Will Shin or Noren, who are both ramen fanatics, pull off a win? Komi Can't Communicate Volume 36. Tadano used to want to be average more than anything, but now that he and Komi are dating, he'd rather be by her side than average any day. He's worried that his epiphany came too late for him to get into the same university as Komi, but she knows exactly what to do. A super intense study camp at Grandma's house. Minecraft the Manga Volume 4. Nico's journey following his father to the end of the world has reached a new level of intensity. He's gathered friends who adventure alongside him, explored a whole lot of the world, and helped a ton of people. What's next? What in the world is an Enderman? Persona P5 Volume 14. Akira and his friends are up against their toughest foe yet, Sei Nijima. Her palace is a rigged casino where they must out-cheat the cheater every step of the way. Their final challenge before reaching Sei is collecting 100,000 coins from the casino. The quickest way to achieve this is a battle arena, but of course nothing is ever easy. Can Joker face off against a gauntlet of foes alone, so they can reach Sei and her treasure and change her heart? Pokemon Sword and Shield Volume 14. The time has come for the legendary Zacian and Zamazenta, as well as the Rusted Sword and Rusted Shield, to change into their true forms and prepare for the rematch to end all rematches. This is the conclusion of the series. Rainbow After Storms Volume 7. After resolving the big fight during the Nagasaki field trip, Nanoha and Chidori return home, their relationship stronger than ever. Then Mai, the underclassman with secrets of her own, accidentally reveals her crush on Nanoha to none other than Chidori. Spider-Man Kizuna Volume 2. Yu is not the only one at Ohakama Elementary with a secret. Classmate and super genius Ginta Takuya is also a super fan of supervillains. Yu and Spider-Man have their hands full this time. This villain's got 8 tentacles. From Seven Seas Entertainment, The Cuckolding Wizard's Adventure Volume 1. Young swordsman Alvin has put together a near-perfect adventuring team with his best friend Renka and the priestess Millis. Things are going pretty well until they recruit a wizard named Shinji. Now they're on the road to become the best team ever. There's just one catch. Little does Alvin know that Shinji is quite the Casanova, and he's not just tangled up in his teammates' sheets, he's finding his way into the beds of companions and enemies alike. Will Alvin remain blissfully unaware of Shinji's lecherous ways, or is the steamy truth destined to come out? Another new series called I Won't Let Mistress Suck My Blood. While on the hunt for a new job and a place to stay, Matilda is pretty sure she hit the jackpot when she winds up in a large mansion known as the Haunted House. Not only does she have work, room and board, but her new boss is absolutely gorgeous. August, owner of the spooky mansion, is a beautiful soft-spoken woman who captured Matilda's heart from the moment they met. But on her first night there, Matilda learns there's much more to August than she could have ever imagined. Far from romance, one man learns that the girl he had a crush on in high school is his new co-worker and was never a girl to begin with. This is a BL romance about mistaken identities and unexpected reunions. Rose and Maiden Collector's Edition Volume 4. When Jun orders an actually magical doll named Shinku, he gets swept up in a supernatural adventure beyond his wildest dreams. Shinku, captured by Kirakisho, flees to a temporary body in an alternate world, where Jun chose not to awaken Shinku. In this world, she lives with a university student version of Jun. Faced with a harsh reality, Jun begins to create his own doll, only for an unexpected visitor to arrive. Last Game, Volume 11. How will it all end between Kojo and Yanagi? Find out in this final volume. How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift Volume 19. The arm wrestling tournament is back at Silverman Gym, and Xena's determined to triumph over Hibiki this time. Is her secret training regime enough to ensure victory? Plus, new characters join the fray, including a trainer from another gym and a trio from the slot machines. Fire in his fingertips, a flirty fireman ravishes me with his smouldering gaze, Volume 10. Soma's birthday is simple and intimate, and he surprises Ryo with a ring. The couple joyously commit to a lifetime together, but the obstacles they face might be more serious than it seemed when they were swept up in passion. As Ryo begins a new project at work and plans her new life with Soma, she realizes she has bigger dreams for her life than just a partner. What will the life-threatening risks of Soma's firefighter duties mean for their coming marriage, for Ryo's career, and for her dreams of starting a family? It Takes More Than a Pretty Face to Fall in Love, Volume 4. Sana, a complete sucker for a pretty face, has been busy running her high school social media account, along with her favourite social media icon and fellow student, Kanato Senpai. Things get awkward between the two of them on the school camping trip. Sana's in such a daze after that, she can hardly enjoy her summer vacation, until Kanato Senpai suddenly shows up at her house. I Got Married to the Girl I Hate Most in Class, Volume 4. High schooler Saito is secretly married to Akane, his classmate and arch-enemy, or at least she used to be. After living with her for a while, he's not so sure he hates her after all. Meanwhile, Akane's best friend Himari just won't give up on her campaign to win Saito's heart. Can Akane sit by and let her best friend have her husband? Meanwhile, Saito decides he wants to get to know Akane even better and asks her on a date. I'm the Evil Lord of an Intergalactic Empire, Volume 7. Liam has grown increasingly interested in Rosetta, the daughter of a duke. Her family's troubled reputation and outcast status has made her life difficult, but she hasn't let it break her. Liam is determined to be the one who conquers her, but her guards are proving a bigger obstacle than he expected. How will she react to his sudden offer of marriage? World End Salt, Volume 4. Salt's next step in the Fiend Realm is a city populated by walking, talking lizards, who are gifted magic users, which is a good thing, since she and her friends are being pursued by Napta, one of the Knights of Retribution tasked with capturing Black. Napta is different, however. He looks, talks, and even smells like a fiend. Boss Bitch Baby Volume 1. Hojinku is in deep trouble. Ruthless loan sharks are after him, demanding payment for a debt his runaway brother left behind. Just when he braces for the worst, a group of suited strangers swoop in to save him, but his relief is short-lived. His rescuer turns out to be a former one-night stand with a wild proposal. Become his personal plaything for a year and the debt disappears. Reluctantly, Hojin agrees. At first he's nothing more than a pet for the eccentric corporate heir, but as time passes, he glimpses the loneliness beneath the man's wealth and power. As their relationship evolves and emotions stir, is Hojin falling into something real or just making another terrible mistake? Another new series called Chainsmoker Cat. Welcome to Yanni's apartment. Don't mind the smell. Yanni is a cat girl with a seriously bad smoking habit. Every time she tries to quit, she becomes weak to the cravings and gives in almost instantly. Behind on her rent and unable to hold down a job, her friends and sister rally around to help her out. But will she ever get her life together, or is she doomed to live as a chain-smoking slob forever? No Longer Allowed in Another World Volume 10. The Helsehen Pope and Femme Fatale, Sachan, combine their efforts to resurrect the Dark Lord of Wrath. In a world once again plunged into gloom, the failed writer Sensei journeys together with the Dark Lord's daughter. What awaits him on the shadowy path he had once travelled with joyful companions? A new story comes alive in Rot, the land of beginnings. Pandora in the Crimson Shell, Ghost Urn Volume 21. As the world crumbles due to calamities initiated by Poseidon, hope springs forth deep within the Cybrain network. Clarion and Phobos have joined forces to take down the Bido virus. Meanwhile, Nico is quickly gathering information to wipe out Bido once and for all, until Labris shows up to turn the tide of the battle, and the virus mutates and multiplies faster than the heroes can cope with. Otaku Elf Volume 10. Elder goes to Kota's school festival, binges anime with her Miko, spends a sleepless night at the shrine, feels the diversity of the Japanese language catching up with her, goes somewhere far away on official business, gets a glimpse of everyday life in Sendai, and might just end up with a larger perspective on life. Parallel Paradise Volume 24. At last Yota has settled the score with the cunning witch Yalia. Now he heads for the throne of the Empress, but a locked door stands in his way. Only the blood of a pure maiden can open the door. Ironically, Yota's best option may be Hime, a girl with less than pure thoughts. He promises himself to her in return for her help, but is she too unstable to be trusted? 100 Ghost Stories That Will Lead to My Own Death Volume 4. Yuma continues to tell 100 ghost stories, including ones with a horse that only roams at midnight, a woman who rants and raves with a poisoned tongue, and a patrolman staking out a child's room. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord Volume 4. The demon overlord, Modinaram, is still very much alive and kicking, and the evil one has found a new living body to possess. Even worse, is someone very close to Diablo's heart. Jean Bride Volume 3. When Isahaya Ichi was in school, her best friend Ido Inami suddenly disappeared. To track her down, Ichi asked former classmate Makuhito for help. Eventually, the two discover that Inami is in the hospital, but with no way to get inside. Ichi turns to Taro, one of the people responsible for Inami's disappearance. Taro is entirely different from his student days, having become a politician who campaigns for gender equality. Can Ichi help her friend in time, even as the school's many mysteries continue to come to light? Michan Wants to Be Kept Volume 3. Before Michan's 18th birthday, she must make the ultimate choice: live the rest of her life as a carefree cat, or as a spirited girl. When she tells her owner, Iori, that she'd be happy either way as long as they're together, Iori decides to prove just how fun the human world can be. But is it enough to sway Michan's heart? Don't Hold Back Lord Hades Volume 2. After Eros accidentally shoots Hades, the god of the underworld, is irresistibly drawn to Persephone, goddess of flowers. After they share a night of incredible passion, Hades is determined to make Persephone his queen. She agrees with one condition: she must be free to tend her fields in the divine realm. Their love faces its first test when Zeus sets his sight on Persephone, forcing the couple to flee to the underworld together to escape his grasp. A shocking truth awaits them. Eris's arrow and Zeus's obsession are all part of a larger conspiracy by the gods, one that could change the fate of Hades and the underworld forever. From Tokyo Pop, Boyfriend, Sometimes Girlfriend Volume 2. Ever since 17-year-old Hodaka started dating his new girlfriend, his life has turned upside down. His girlfriend Chihaya, cute, sweet and lovely as could be, has a family curse that turns him into a girl if they kiss. Despite their strange situation, Hodaka's feelings don't waver, and their relationship only continues to grow. But when Chihaya's cousin Mashiro kisses another guy, he too finds himself transformed. Just how are they going to stop Mashiro before she reveals their family secret to the whole world? My New Wife's Fake Smile Volume 2. Sojiro's new wife, Chiyo, is more beautiful than he could have imagined, despite the fake smile she wears always throwing him off. But although the insecure samurai continues to worry that he's not enough, the infatuated Chiyo simply struggles keeping her desire for him under control. As the two navigate their daily lives amid more miscommunication chaos, others around them have begun to catch on. My Noons and Midnight Are For You Volume 1. Compared to his radiant online alter ego, Mahiru, a bubbly VTuber beloved by thousands of fans, the real Mayo is gloomy, shy, and plagued by self-doubt. And the more love Mahiru receives, the more Mayo feels the sting of isolation. Even Mr. Ogino, Mayo's affectionate, doting manager, seems to care more for the persona, not the real Mayo behind the mask. So even when Mr. Ogino tells him "I love you," how could Mayo ever believe his words? Yet Mr. Ogino might see more than Mayo realizes. Sensing Mayo's secret longing and unable to resist, Mr. Ogino utters the words that will change their relationship forever. In that case, shall I bully you instead? About a Love Song Volume 1. Hoshina dreams of making it big with his band, but writing love songs has never come easy. That is, until he meets Seto, a sweet and disarming part-timer who shines a little too brightly in Hoshina's jaded world. When a rainy night leads to an unexpected encounter, Hoshina finds himself drawn to Seto's honesty and warmth. But discovering Seto is still in his final year of high school leaves Hoshina spiraling with guilt. As Hoshina tries to distance himself, Seto only steps closer, determined to love and be loved, even if he's still figuring out how to be a grown-up. Fox and Puppy, a sweet and spicy spin-off of Star and Hedgehog, featuring Harukiyo's big brother Akihiko. Laid-back novelist Akihiko and his earnest new editor, Aichiro aka Ai-chan, are faced with an unexpected dynamic shift when Ai-chan walks in on Akihiko in bed with a man and bursts into tears. Ai-chan confesses his feelings for Akihiko, but since Akihiko has no interest in anything serious, the best he can offer Ai-chan is a steamy, semi-professional friendship with decidedly unprofessional benefits. In spite of Akihiko's efforts to keep things casual, Ai-chan slowly begins to unearth the details of Akihiko's mud-caked romantic past, doggedly pouring his way to the wounded heart of the elusive fox he fell in love with. Holo Earth Chronicles Side E Yamato Fantasia Volume 2. Tasked with tracking down a group of missing children, Fubuki and Mio make their way to the Oeyama mountain range, where they're attacked by a powerful Oni named Nakiri Ayame. As the two kami engage their foe in battle, they make a discovery that turns the case on its head. Were the children really kidnapped, or were they simply taken to someplace safer than their own homes? A Man and His Cat Volume 14. Though he still can't perform on stage, Kanda challenges himself with street piano. He never imagined his audience would include his former teacher, Margaret Dressel. The ever-present Fukumaru is ready to win new hearts. Luckily, Kanda's mentor is a fellow cat lover. Then Joffrey becomes Kuju's piano teacher, but the lesson gets off to a rocky start. Also from Square Enix, My Isekai Life, I gained a second character class and became the strongest sage in the world, Volume 22. While posing as a student at the Royal Academy in order to gain access to a certain tome, Yuji is forced to participate in the school's infamous field trip. The first day ends up being a breeze, thanks to his trusty slimes. Learning that the second day is supposedly worse than the first, Yuji wakes up expecting a deluge of monsters, only to find nothing. The forest should be teeming with monsters, and yet there's no sign of any. Demons of the Shadow Realm Volume 9. Ancient demons awaken to fight a new battle in an age-old war. A debilitated Akio explains his reasons for betraying the Kagemori clan to a bewildered Natsuki. Shortly thereafter, Mountain God's relics explode, allowing Akio to escape captivity and join his new companions, an enigmatic group of demon wielders from western Japan. On the other side of town, Hana is summoned to a secret meeting of Higashi village agents, where the same group is poised to launch another terrorist attack. Always a catch, How I Punched My Way into Marrying a Prince Volume 5. With the engagement party fiasco behind her, there's only one hurdle left for Maria: taking Prince Renato home to meet her father. She's dreading how things may go, but it seems Renato has a plan in mind. What will happen when he meets the crazy Anovasi family for the first time? So those are most of the manga and manhwa releases for the first 2 weeks of December. There's quite a lot there. I hope there is something that you want to read and buy there. There's quite a few new series coming out that sound really interesting. As always, if you want to use the code Jay'sManga at SciFier.com, it'll get you an extra 5% off their already discounted prices. Please do like, subscribe, and let me know what you're going to buy or read in the comments below. Happy reading, everyone. Bye!